beautiful artwork behind you. Wow. Miss Marilyn's got nothing on you.
So I'm actually, thank you, first of all. That was, I was in for a little bit. Sometimes there are technical difficulties, so thank you for the warm welcome, first of all. But for the first time ever, I'm doing a live sale on my Instagram for my studio later because I'm.
Do me a favor, Elizabeth. Come in a little closer because I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, and I want to make sure we capture everything you have to say. Better. Cool. There you go. All right, talk to us now.
Up close and personal.
Now I hear you better. That's good.
OMG, up close and personal. Okay.
All right, better. Good. Yeah, see, you're getting love and hearts. So, so welcome. So where are you? You're in your studio?
So I'm in my studio. My whole team is actually going to be here tonight from 8 to 10 p.m. doing a live sale. I'll show you around later so I don't make people dizzy, but it's the first time I'm ever doing this. My studio is amazing. Should I show them quickly?
Yeah, you want to just do a little pan over, show us a quick little teaser?
Let me just show them quickly so they know what I'm talking about. But I've been in this space for a few years already.
It's unbelievable. Wow.
It's a very important space to me, but COVID has encouraged a move a little bit. And I'm trying to move to Miami, but even if I don't move to Miami, I don't want to be in Manhattan anymore. My studio is located in Long Island City so that it's convenient for my life, but my life needs to move for the next year. So, you'll love this.
Just beautiful. So look at this. I mean, I'm seeing pool tables and artwork and carpets and all kinds of things in this just a tile, unbelievable, creative atmosphere. So fabulous. So let's, put it back on you so we get to see your beautiful punum. And I want to hear all about, sort of what you have going on. So first, you said between 8 and 10, you're doing a live, but meaning people are not coming in because of COVID. So what does that mean?
So first of all, my studio is actually not even usually open to the public. It's usually open to, my personal clients, designers that I work with, business meetings, business development, because I paint all day and I'm busy. But we took out all the art that was in the back of my studio, and I have my sales team and friends coming here. People don't even know what I have to offer. I never really offered deals, let's say, because I protect the integrity of my pricing with my art. But I'm doing basically my first sample sale. I have fashion accessories here that I didn't show you guys because it's not
And people will bid on it on Instagram? Is that how they're doing it, or purchase it on Instagram?
Actually, I've never personally conducted one. My friend is the one who's done them, and he was like, let's do it. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to drink.
Try something new. Why not? So just tell us. Let's just pause for a second. Take a deep breath with me. Welcome to Design Uncensored, everyone. And the fabulous Elizabeth Sutton, who just recently, can I tell them how old you are?
Sure.
Just recently celebrated her 30th. So all of these things that she panned across, all of her amazing accomplishments, her license deals, her gallery shows, her purses, her belts, all of it, she has accomplished before the ripe old age of 30. I expect so many wonderful things from you and your career. So for those of you who are tuning in, if you know and follow and love Elizabeth already, you already are in the know. For those of you who are following from my Instagram, I want to just be the first to introduce you to this future powerhouse. She is just getting started. So it's really fun. She and I met each other. So just a little backstory. We both are designers and artists. We met each other at Tile Bar, which is one of a common partner that we share. We both design collections for Tile Bar in New York. They have distribution all over the country. And we met at an event when people actually got together IRL in real life and, toasted and ate from a buffet and got dressed and gussied up for like a night on the town. So we met at a Tile Bar event in New York City. I was like, who is this girl in this most gorgeous, bright blue suit who was walking around like the most confident human I'd ever met? And we was like, we hit it off. I was like, oh my God, you remind me of myself, like 20, when I was in my 20s. And just incredible. So here, and you have some fans here who are saying before 30 and 2 kids. So she is a mother, she's an artist, and she's a businesswoman. What's even more amazing is after we got to talk a little bit, and you told me your backstory, so I'd love to hear it. you're not trained as a fine artist. So tell us, a little bit about how you got started. Like, how did you discover that you had this talent?
So wait, Stacy, I'm actually about to introduce you to somebody very important who said hello, and then I'll tell you because he just waved hi. I'm self-taught, but we're going to say hi to Eric Gelman of the Raynor Group. As a new deal I signed, home office desk chairs, and actually I will introduce you guys later, but hey, Eric, that's a big new deal. I haven't discussed it too much, so maybe we'll talk about it in today's conversation because it is talking about design and industry trends. That's actually specific to design industry trends. I'm a self-taught artist. I picked up a paintbrush for the first time ever about 5 years ago, really by accident. I got married very young, married at 21. Did what I was supposed to do. It's funny because we're both Jewish. I was raised religious, observant. And I did what I was supposed to do. I had a very privileged life, Upper East Side housewife life, cooked, entertained. I was always creative. I used to be creative with my food. We lost a lot of money very quickly, and I was in the middle of a very fancy renovation on my son's nursery. I was about to have him. And I Philip Jeffries wallpaper, Kravet fabrics, like super chic, high-end, black and white mixed with color, which is very much what my art's about, actually. And I had a vision. And even though I was an artist, I've always been visual. And I couldn't afford the art, so one Sunday I got crafty with a friend. She taught me like a very simple technique with tape, and I made some arts and crafts. I've made 3 paintings, and I put it on Instagram. I put it on the wall, I put it on Instagram, and somebody reached out and inquired about art to purchase. And it was at a moment in time that I had decided that I needed to start working. I thought I was going to be a chef. Before that, I had dabbled in like collage. I was kind of bored when I was a housewife, honestly. So I'd occupy my time with various things. I'm certified in Pilates. I would cook all the time. Really great cook. I do art with my food too. I have a lifestyle blog with recipes. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I think we spoke about that the other day, actually. And I had, people had asked me in the past if I would sell them art, and I didn't need the money, and I didn't take them seriously, so I never pursued it. And once that happened, that someone inquired about my art, I was like, okay, I need money. Like, okay, if I can sell this, let me sell this. I don't care what I sell.
Right.
And I hit a bunch of them up, and I asked if they were still interested, and some of them said yes. So I did it. And I worked on my dining table, and then, a couple things happened. People saw, I got inquiries, and then I got a call from Ryan Serhant of $1 Million Listing New York. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's the top luxury residential broker in New York. And he asked me if I wanted to stage one of his luxury developments with my artwork. At the time, my artwork was, can I curse on here or not really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was shit, right? Like, I was teaching myself. I had air bubbles in my collages. And like for some artists, for most artists, that's okay. I'm a perfectionist in my work. And I'm very prolific in my technique and the quality of my work. It's one of the things I hate about the art world, that some art that's created is really quality-wise, like I'm not impressed, but it'll sell for a ton of money.
Right.
And I developed, so as soon as I got that call from him while I was on the way to Costa Rica with my family for my son's first birthday, I literally placed an ad on Craigslist for an art assistant, interviewed them. He's still on my team, Mike, my first ever assistant. Interviewed him. Hello, just saying hi to people. But interviewed him first thing when I landed, and I said, we're going to paint on my table for the next 3 weeks. And during that time, I taught myself a bunch of different techniques, all that involved skills with tape, knives, scissors, spatial skills, like all my work, like the strength is in balance, composition, color, contrast, and spatial skills. Yeah. So I just started, testing the same technique on different applications, and I developed a lot of my styles. I developed my signature butterflies that are literally my trademark. Okay. Yeah. I started working on geometric abstractions. I then ultimately got bored of painting patterns, and I was like, how can I use the same technique, the technical aspect of my art, and apply it to other visual executions? And I came up with my portrait series. I basically started researching types of graphic design that were geometric, and I found a type of digital graphic design called WPAP. And nobody had ever painted them. It originated in Indonesia. The WPAP artists were just doing one color palette, only of faces. It's like, you know what? This is the same concept that I do with my tape and knives. I can execute it a lot more detailed and different, but same technique. And I said, I'm going to do my own thing with it. And at first, I started just with icons because that's what they were doing. I was just experimenting with the technique.
Yeah.
And then once I mastered that, I said, this is boring again. And I can't make prints of Marilyn without a license, if we're going to talk about licensing.
I was going to ask you that. How does that work in terms of using iconic figures?
IP. By the way, I can give designers here, so, as I'm sure you can, amazing, valuable information about IP, intellectual property law, because I invest a lot of money researching the law first so that I'm aware and I really don't break it. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not interested. And also protecting all my work. But with figures like this, I can paint originals, but I cannot make prints. If I want to make prints, I need to license their face, and sometimes you need to license a photograph. If they are a public figure, which is a very small domain, a president, something like that, George Floyd, he's considered public now. Actually, my George Floyd painting is on the back of Bella magazine.
Very good.
That's a first for me. But you have to, so then you can do prints up. But what I started to do to avoid that problem, I then took this application process and I was like, so WPAP is a process of vectorizing an image based on lighting and shadowing, different shapes, stuff like that. I said, why are they only doing it to faces? I can do it to photos that are going to create beautiful things. And I was the first person painting WPAPs, but then I also started applying even the digital concept to inanimate objects, landscapes that really wasn't being done, and then doing my thing to it in paint with color and my own spin. And then, that's my photo series. So I paint a lot of my own photos because I want to avoid IP licensing issues. I put my patterns on all sorts of products. So that's when I started painting my own photos. Actually, I sold my first painting of my own photo. This is part of that series. You can't see it. I'll give you a tour if you want later, like specifically about important works. But my work actually went to the next level. I was able to control the entire composition, the depth, the scale, the perspective, everything. And I started adding a lot of dimension to my work. My works went from taking anywhere from 30 to 60 hours to taking from 100 to 400 hours.
Wow.
Because there was a lot more
detailed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of your newer stuff is amazing. Like you did ones from your trip with the girls and the beach hats and the water and the bathing suit. Like the detail's amazing. They're so beautiful. And they're large scale.
Yeah, so when I paint I do two types of work. I develop my own things that I'm inspired by that are often what I launch as my prints. And I usually sell those for a lot of money because those are the most detailed works, honestly, and they just take a long time. But the more detail, the more beauty. Often, not always, but often. And I also get custom commissions. So right now I'm painting a family of 5 kids. People come to me, oh, Liz, I love your butterflies. I need it to be 60 by 40. I want it to be these colors. I want it to match the space. And I do that. I'm an artist I work with a lot of interior designers, but I also do commercial projects. And so I do design work as well, like my wallpaper. So I'm really creative.
Opening up how you're able to make your art accessible. So talk me through a little, because I know that you do work through quite a bit of interior designers, and obviously your work is original and it's hand painted, and like you said, some of it's taking up to 100 hours plus to 400 hours, my gosh, to create. So you're talking about, a month's worth of time at least of getting this perfected. When it's installed and it goes into your clients, are you seeing the finished product? Like, do you have the ability to see where they hang it, how it looks, how it's being used?
What's so annoying, and one of the biggest differences between interior designer jobs and mine? So when you're a designer, for the most part, at some point you're on the job, you're going to see the finished product, right? Like, you're going to see because you're doing a big project, right? I'm actually the person that designers come to often that they're sourcing. So unless there's a reason for me to go, and some of these clients are around the world, around the country, most often, no, I don't see these installs. I've never seen one of my tile installs live.
Yeah.
It kills me.
I know. What about the art? Are you seeing sort of where is it being used? Everything from contemporary to traditional? Sorry, that's my dog.
Mostly, I do modern, but what I'm good with, mostly, I can do things that are more traditional, abstract, but I've developed, it can be transitional, contemporary, modern. I am someone who actually loves mixing modern with traditional if it's done right. Like I have paintings that are black and white with metallic accents, and I would love to. I think that would look amazing in a traditional home, even though it's geometric and modern. I'm about to do a client's home in Naples. His apartment is actually transitional, contemporary, but his art collection is pretty. It's not modern. Let's just call it that. It's eclectic. It's not modern, but I'm going to incorporate my work in a way that it's going to work with everything there. I have that eye. If you're buying enough art from me, I will give you a full-on, obviously, consultation as to space, because that takes time, right? Even just the video of the tour, some of these places are 10 minutes. Time is money in my team. Time is money, right?
Yeah. Elizabeth, I lost you, and I don't know if it's on my end or you're back.
The phone, if it's open, it's going to come through. My team at this point, is very familiar with my work, how to solve, spatial problems for my clients, as well as recommend them works that I have in stock based on their needs.
Yeah.
What are your favorite works? Do you like butterflies, geometrics, and then they put it together in PDF. If it's a custom piece, of course I talk to the client immediately, but
right.
They still go through a process to vet them to make sure they know the pricing, the range. If I'm going to refer something to them, I want to see their space prior.
Right, the scale. What are you seeing? Are you seeing a trend? Because that's what I want to make sure we're covering on this call too, in terms of, the types of work that you're seeing sell at this point. Like you mentioned, sort of the portraits at one point. Now your work has moved, or the butterflies. Are you seeing a trend in what's selling from your art, what's being requested?
So I think, first of all, I need to remain very grateful because a lot of people are struggling right now, and thank God I feel I'm in. If there's a category to be in, one of the right categories for the industry, because people are in their home. I actually have been selling a lot of art, thank God. Honestly, like a lot. Originals. I'm seeing originals move. I am offering deals. That's one of the reasons, and I usually don't. But still, even my arts with deals is pretty pricey. You have an upscale clientele often. You do a lot of hospitality, but I do high-end residential very often with my fine art. But we're, usually a painting will cost $15,000. We're selling it for 10, 9. But right now, yes, I will take, let's go, let's produce, let's generate.
The COVID art deals are here, everyone. So if you're interested, but what are you seeing in terms of sort of the types of art? What are people interested in today? Is it across the board?
What's very interesting, because I talk about design trends because I do design other things that I actually, in my head, I set trends. I try not to look at what's going on around me because I actually feel that it convolutes my brain. I get inspired from nature. I get inspired from travel. If I see something beautiful, I'll get inspired, but I don't really go looking. So I try to set the trends with what I'm doing in my work, but I found that, yes, with tile, people like a certain one. My art is such a subjective thing. That's what I've learned. Art is an emotional buy, not a decorative buy, and different pieces appeal to different people. There are pieces that I literally, in my head, I hate them, and I'll have someone walk into my studio and say, oh, this is my favorite piece in here. So my butterflies are always bestsellers. I can't keep those in stock. Maybe in my entire inventory of upwards of maybe 100 pieces left in stock. I have 4 butterfly works because they all.
I may have to look at those because butterfly butterflies are my favorite too. They remind me of my grandma.
So there is typically symbolism for many people who buy my butterflies. Butterflies are very symbolic for a lot of people. I literally own my butterfly shape. They're symbolic for me. My life went through a huge transformation. Butterflies represent hope. They also are the only thing in nature that are perfectly symmetrical, which defines beauty aesthetically for our brains, as well as one of a kind. Each butterfly is one of a kind. So I love that. I've learned a lot about butterflies. I went to Costa Rica, went to a butterfly farm, learned about the monarch butterfly, why they're called that. It's very interesting. But butterflies are definitely my best sellers. Geometrics tend to go to couples who want something like gender neutral or whatever, who want to agree. I don't want to say boring because none of my work is boring, but I just want to say more like a little more inside the box than the rest of my work, right? Like, and also, again, it's a lot of them are gender neutral, so husbands and wives don't fight, right? Like a husband might want a car, and the wife is like, "No, I want a flower," and then they're like, "Okay, let's put a geometric." My florals.
I love that. That's the family saver there. It's a good go-to. So for those of you contemplating buying art, designers who are wondering, because I know all of my designer friends, there's not a single one of you who hasn't been challenged to be a design therapist. So, just take Elizabeth's advice here. Go geometric, go gender neutral. It is going to be the savior of the project.
Design therapist,
so that's good advice.
Yeah, I love that. Art therapist. I like my clients.
Let me ask you this from an art perspective, but also color and trend perspective. Like, I know different artists go through different periods in their own work where they're using different colors, right? Like Picasso has, did his blue period and the gray period. Are you going through a period right now with your color palette? Have you shifted color, or are you sort of sticking to one?
So I very often use rainbows and the Roy G. Biv multicolor spectrum. Rainbows I'll do in the order of spectrum. Multicolor means I'm using those same colors, but I'm mixing them around, and it has a very different effect, obviously. But I'm actually excellent at all palettes, right? Like, I do grayscale amazing, but it's just, like, I came from a dark place. When I create for me, I like to paint, happy colors, but I actually do love working in palettes that are not Roy G. Biv. I really like pastel palettes. I created palettes for actually Benjamin Moore, for Janovic, exclusively at Janovic using 18 shades of Benjamin Moore.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
and that you painted on their building, right? You've done work with Janovic where you came in and did murals and things.
So I actually just got my brain Michigan built. I did a big collaboration with them. Janovic is the largest paint supplier in New York, the largest Benjamin Moore distributor in the country. I designed 5 custom color palettes, Elizabeth Sutton collection using Benjamin Moore, 60 different shades exclusively at Janovic. I made them these beautiful butterfly boards that are in each of their 10 locations in New York City. And we wrapped 4 buildings with 45-foot murals. Very beautiful. You could find one in Hell's Kitchen on 52nd and 10th. You could honestly go on my website and search Janovic, and the locations will come up. But
and the website is what? ElizabethSuttonCollection.com?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect.
But right before, like literally a minute before I got on this call, I got a message from an editor at Forbes. They had a big feature on me. I didn't even get to fully check it out, but I think this is included. You can find a lot of good information. I'm very excited about it.
That's amazing. So that's on Forbes.com?
Literally, the minute we got on this call, the editor, I saw a text message come through, and I'm like, after this call, I can't wait to see it.
All right. I'm going to be Googling it as soon as we hang up here, but that's amazing. Congratulations. So before we go, why don't you take us on a tour so we get to see, some of your art, show us some of the things you're going to be selling tonight.
I will right now, but palettes right now for fall, I'm feeling plums, emeralds, cognacs, navies, creams.
Yeah. Do you feel like people are looking, though, for those bright pops, those Roy G. Bibs, like you said, like a little bit of happiness in their life from COVID? What are you thinking?
Well, so again, you can add happiness. There are bold colors, and then there are muted colors, and they're both going to add vibes, and they're both going to add energy. Sometimes people don't want that bright red in their room, right? It's a lot. If you're going to do a color like that, sometimes it's better doing it as an accent wall. But there's something super sexy about using a deep maroon it's going to create a certain vibe. But sexy is good too. It's still a vibe. Like, you can then add, pops of white or accents like hot yellow with a deep, I can go on all day. Light lavender. You come at me with color combo questions, like you.
Well, maybe we'll include some of that on the blog. So what we're going to do after this is we will take this, strip it down. We're going to do an interview with Elizabeth Sutton and her whole collection. It's going to be posted on our blog along with this video interview. And so what we may do is have you pull some of your color palettes, what you're thinking is coming, and we'll sort of attach that to your art.
I'll send you some beautiful assets because I'm already.
That would be amazing. Yeah, so sneak peek us. What's for sale? I want to see butterflies.
Oh my God. Guys, I hope you tune in. And honestly, if you're getting a sneak and you're interested, DM now. And my first of all, this is for sale, but it's very expensive. Okay, this is my favorite thing ever in life that I've made.
So you did that just because. I didn't know if you were commissioned to do that.
So this was a gift from Black Billiard. The table itself is $12,000 without any art. I put in over 1,000 hours of labor. This is the undercarriage. Oh,
that's amazing. You
This
just need the right buyer for it.
Exactly, the right buyer. So these are some of my photo series. So this is Costa Rica. Again, I changed the colors in the image. I love this palette. I think this is very chic. Beautiful. This is the inspo for one of the palettes that I did for Janovic called Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is a painting at the top of Ajax Mountain in Aspen. A lot of my work is textural. Hold on, I'll get up close. Diamond dust, different textures of glitter, accented, metallics, iridescence that it's hard to see unless you're in person. This is my kids and I on the steps of the Met.
I love it.
This is part of my COVID series, Speak No Evil. I think that the world needed to slow down and people need to be more careful sometimes about the things that come out of their mouths.
Yes.
This is relevant.
Love it.
So I have all sorts of things. These are my my assistant was setting up while we were on the call.
Oh, right. So you do fashion items too. Beautiful, beautiful handbags.
Yeah. We didn't talk about
clutches. What do the clutches go for?
So they typically sell for $345. I think tonight my team has them discounted for like $195, which is actually the cheapest I've ever sold most of these for, unless you get wholesale, and I don't offer individual people wholesale. These usually go for $645 plus, and I think they price them in the low threes. I'm not the person to talk pricing. They can. These are under $200. They're typically closer to $400. Reversible belts, very pretty. These are one says $85. With everything is free shipping now. Oh, my packaging. My packaging is very special.
Oh my gosh.
And I have all different types of packaging. I don't know if I can find any line.
So that's what the purses come in. Those are amazing.
Well, my other packaging is stunning also. My belts. I try and transfer my art into every product I do. Let's see. I don't want to make everyone dizzy. It's not so important. They can join later. I'm happy I found out that I needed to get some packaging. But I have all sorts of art. Okay, these are my signature butterfly pieces. This is sold. But these are the commissions that I'm doing for a client. This is one. I have 2 Mickey and Minnie's available. They're so strong. I've done many. I have 2 left in stock. This is adorable. Kourtney Kardashian has one of my Mickeys in her daughter's nursery.
Wow.
My clients, a lot of them are Jewish and religious. So my Rebbe's, my originals, both sold. I have this print available. Batman. This is work in progress. I would love for a designer to make this into a small tabletop, maybe.
Yes.
This needs the right home. I don't know why she's still available. I don't know why. I love her. These are funny ones. Hold on. Sorry. I actually don't want to screw up the video too much. So tune in later because I have some funny works behind here. I think
so. Now, when you say tune in, it's right onto your Instagram again.
I think, live 8 to 10, kind of like we're doing now. This is one of the only butterflies I have left in stock. It's very beautiful. It's super cute for like a woman's closet, a bathroom, This is like you can find a cheap piece of, honestly, crap at not crap, but like something cheap at IKEA. Put $200 worth of knobs on it and make it look like a $2,000 unit.
That is such a good designer trick also. I love that. I've used it in my own. I bought, I think it's a nice looking vanity, but you replace out the knobs and it looks like $1 million. So that's great.
Yeah. And knobs can be
beautiful
expensive, Like I've spent, here's some of my packaging I could show you. My knobs that I put on like one of my duck. This is the George Floyd magazine back of it. That was pretty cool. These are my clutches, New York Times, Bergdorf Goodman, Bella. Packaging for belts, bag straps, other clutches. I have all sorts of designs. I just launched today actually disposable placemats.
Fun. Do you have them to show us?
Yes. Yeah, they're right there actually.
We're to the side. You have to turn us regular because we're getting dizzy.
Sorry. Hold on. Better?
Yes.
So some of them might
really
be marked.
cute.
Some of them might be marked because it meant that I had to fix the file.
Got it.
Yeah,
what's the material?
They are uncoated paper. They're disposable. There are trends in the market. Talk about trends for, germ situations right now, obviously.
Right.
And it enables you to. These were my samples, so that's why they're like.
Oh, that's so fun! I love it.
But
you're selling on your website also.
We just launched them today. Just now, literally.
How did they come? Is it like a mixed pack or it's the same?
No. It comes packs of. This is going to be a bestseller for like little kids' birthday parties. Look at this.
Yeah.
And these are very similar to my wallpaper patterns, actually. My wallpapers.
Those are fun. Those are Mylar too.
All right. No, actually, I have all different forms of I print on pearl. I print on texture. I print on metallic. I can print on vinyl. I can print on all sorts of papers. These are my metallics, but I have different textures.
And tell us, are your wallpapers in stock or you manufacture on demand?
On demand. If for commercial projects, if it's a bulk order, I can manufacture for a much more affordable price, but it needs to be volume because on demand is printed in America and volume is done overseas.
Okay, good.
So, but for a private client is on demand. And I can scale the pattern. Some of these are mural style for my wallpapers. Some of them are repeat. I have so many.
Yeah. So I know they're all on your website.
Yes. Some of them are hidden actually for the next collection. So you're really getting a sneak peek.
Okay.
This is one of my favorites for fall. You asked about palettes. This is what's in my head right now for fall.
Okay, I love it. So you're getting ready for sweater weather, and that is very ode to the 70s. So turn back around so we can see your beautiful face again. There we go. It has been so much fun. Elizabeth, it always goes super fast. So our time is up tonight, but I'm so grateful that you tuned in, brought your community together with my community. Again, so happy to be able to feature some of your work, share all of your beautiful talent, and all these exciting things with my team. Guys, everyone who's watching, who's been in, who's been out, and who's going to see this on the blog at some point post-interview here, you are seeing her first. This is a young rising star. She has a beautiful future ahead of her. She's accomplished so much in only 30 years of life, and just I can't wait to see what all of your artwork, all of your new businesses, all of these things have in, the Elizabeth Sutton fingerprint on the world, because you have so much beauty to share with us. So again, thank you. We are grateful for the tour. Tune into her tonight live on Instagram, 8 to 10, Elizabeth Sutton Collection. Check out her website, elizabethsuttoncollection.com. Follow her on social media. You will not regret it. She is so inspirational, and her work is just beautiful. So good luck tonight on the sale, and thank you.
You're really making me blush, by the way. I can't. You're making me blush.
Well, I'm a fan, and I'm glad, to sort of break the news to everyone.